Good afternoon. This is INQUIRER.net special coverage for Undas 2022. Joining us from the Manila Memorial Park is Beatrice Pinlac. Joining us from the Manila North Cemetery is Jean Mangaluz. I'm Neil Mercado. Despite the rains and the threat of COVID-19, many are still set to visit the departed this Undas season. Tell us more, here's Beatrice Pinlac reporting live from the Manila Memorial Park. Bay? Bay, we can't hear you.
Neil,
Okay, can hear you now, Bay.
intermittent rains and the threat of COVID-19 pandemic won't stop cemetery goers at the Manila Memorial Park in Sucat, Parañaque City who are set to visit their departed loved ones on All Saints Day. More visitors are expected to flock here by the afternoon until evening as the rain begins to subside. Now, we spoke to a few cemetery goers earlier, and they said that they had planned to visit for Undas 2022, rain or shine, while still adhering to public health protocols.
First time niyo po ba in 3 years na makabalik po at mag-observe ng Undas dito since the pandemic po?
Yes, ngayon lang kami at lahat ng kapatid ko pupunta rin dito, mga brothers and sisters ko na nasa Pilipinas. Kasi karamihan sa amin nasa Amerika na. The whole day kami usually rito. Kasi dito kami nag-lunch. Tapos we get together here.
Kasi dahil malapit lang kami dito, diyan lang kami San Antonio, nabibisita namin medyo madalas-dalas ang mother namin. So, talagang pupunta kami maski umulan. May dala na kami mga payong. Kaso nga lang, ito, inarkilala lang namin dyan. Meron pala sila eh.
Neil, among the known personalities whose remains are laid to rest here are former Senator Ninoy Aquino and former Presidents Corazon and Noynoy Aquino. Now, the Aquino Mausoleum is currently adorned by flowers sent by none other than President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
Bay, so I've been to Manila Memorial Park. That's a huge cemetery visited by thousands, especially today. So how's the traffic situation in the area? I covered that a couple of years ago, and the traffic back then was heavy all the way to SLEX.
Actually, Neil, the traffic here is very manageable as compared to the previous years because hindi rin masikip yung daloy ng tao dito. Onti pa lang yung pumupunta so far. And a while ago, there was a bit of bottleneck because of the worsening rain and also the increasing volume of visitors. But they are trying to do inspections by the cemetery gate as quickly as possible to reduce that traffic.
Bay, at least dito sa pwesto mo ngayon, medyo walang tao, no, dito sa likod mo. But I'm curious, what's the situation there like? Kamusta? Are people wearing masks? Or is social distancing being implemented there strictly?
Actually, most visitors here, Neil, are still wearing face masks because they said they're still very wary about the pandemic that is still here and the threat is still there. But you will notice that there are other people na talagang hindi na nagsusuot ng face mask. Again, because it is an open area and I guess onti lang din naman yung mga tao right now na dumadalo dito. And we spoke to the cemetery goers a while ago who said na talagang onti to compared to the previous years. So they're really lax with the public health protocols, but some are still very, very strictly following it.
Are we still expecting the number of visitors there in Manila Memorial Park to increase by the day?
Yes, the police officers we've spoken to a while ago said na afternoon and evening, ina-expect nila na dumami pa yung mga cemetery goers natin.
Okay, thanks, Bay. That's Beatrice Pinlac live from the Manila Memorial Park. Meanwhile, more than 50,000 people are expected to visit their departed loved ones in a Manila North Cemetery. To give us an update on the situation there, here's our reporter, Gina Mangaluz. Jean?
Thank you, Neil. The Undas marks the first time in 2 years that people can visit their departed loved ones because of relaxed COVID-19 protocols. Despite the presence of the virus, upwards of thousands of people are still expected to flock the Manila North Cemetery. We talked to a
Iba
few
talaga
people.
yung person na napupuntahan mo, ang loved ones. Loved ones na matatawag ko kasi lahat na eh. Yun ang akin. Iba talaga yung ika nga, may isi-share mo, may ipapakita mo sa pamamagitan ng aktwal.
Yun lang po, sana matapos na po itong pandemic para mabalik na po kami doon sa dati naming tradisyon na kada darating po yung Undas, lahat po kami pamilya na kukumpleto kasi doon lang po kami nagkakasama-sama. Yun po, mabalik po sana sa dati. Yung iba po kasi, yung iba rin po naming relative, may mga sakit na, yun po. Hindi rin po maiwasan na hindi rin na rin po sila pwedeng lumabas. Ganyan.
The Manila North Cemetery is a last resting place for a variety of personalities, including the late Fernando Poe Jr. and even former presidents. Despite this, thousands of people are still here merely to visit their loved ones. According to District Director Brigadier General Andre Perez Tizon, as of 12 p.m., there are 91,000 people here in the Manila North Cemetery. This almost doubled the projections of local authorities. Despite this increase, Dizon says that there have been no untoward incidents.
Jean, so you mentioned that there are now more than 91,000, right? People
Yes.
there. So that is double the initial projections. So unlike the projection in Manila Memorial Park that the authorities are saying there was an increase in the number of visitors, over there, there was a decrease rather in the number of visitors over there at the Manila North Cemetery. It seems like there was an increase in the number of visitors. So I'm just curious, do authorities have any reminders for those who are planning to visit the cemetery today? Maybe with regard to the items or the things that visitors can or cannot bring and so on?
So people are very discouraged from bringing dangerous items such as firearms, sharp-edged objects like knives. They're also discouraged from bringing lighter fluids or any fluids that may cause flames. Even cologne bottles and alcohol bottles were confiscated at the gate.
So Jean, sa banggit na pag-usapan, tinanong ko rin to kay Bay kanina, no? What's your personal observation pagdating sa minimum public health standards dyan? Are people wearing masks? Because as you mentioned earlier, this is the first Undas with relaxed COVID restrictions, at least somewhat relaxed COVID restrictions.
So most people are still actually wearing masks despite the executive orders issued. We also see a lot of children with their families despite the prohibition of unvaccinated children. However, if there is a cause of concern, it will be the sheer amount of people, the 91,000 people who are here today. At the entrance, we saw that people were standing shoulder to shoulder with little to no social distancing. So that appears to be a cause of concern here.
So Jean, how are authorities planning to address that? How are authorities planning to make sure that the the minimum public health standards are being implemented?
When we last spoke to Brigadier General Dizon, there have been no untoward incidents as of yet, and the protocols that they've been practicing still apply despite the doubling of people here.
Okay, thanks, Gina. That's Jean Mangaluz live from the Manila North Cemetery. Another important news for those visiting the cemetery today, Tropical Storm Queenie has weakened into a tropical depression this morning, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration. In its 11 a.m. weather bulletin, Pag-asa reported that Queenie was downgraded into a tropical depression at 8 a.m. As of 10 a.m., Queenie was located 490 kilometers east of Davao City, or 425 kilometers east-southeast of Hinatuan in Surigao del Sur. According to Pag-asa, Queenie is likely to bring light to moderate with at times heavy rains over Caraga and the Davao Oriental. Flooding and landslides are possible, yet no tropical cyclone wind signal has been raised. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.